My name is John Flett. I'm a pediatrician who helps parents, families, teachers with children who think and learn differently. A question you might have asked, why did children behave and why did children misbehave? A lot of parents think that kids just are trying to get attention, I hear. Or other parents blame themselves. Where have I gone wrong, they say. I've put my child into the wrong school. I haven't given them enough attention. I feel guilty. I go to work. I spend all this time as a mother, maybe I should be at home. I send my kids off to a daycare centre. They're at home with a nanny. And maybe that's where things have gone wrong. Or parents blame themselves. I haven't given my child enough nutrition. I haven't given them enough attention. Or maybe I let them sit in front of the TV. Where is the problem? And I'd like to talk to you about that because it's important to understand why children behave the way they do in order to help correct that problem. What strategies do you introduce? So this is a brief video to help you have a framework and understanding of how you should intervene, how you should approach things. Right from a child's birth, a newborn baby has a temperament, has a unique innate genetic temperament, their personality, as it were. They might be, difficult to soothe. They might be easy. There might be children that self-soothe. They kind of sleep, they feed, they eat, they sleep. They're not fractious, irritable, they're not colicky. They just kind of settle, they go to anybody. They've got an easygoing personality. But how about those children who have got easily influenced by the environment? They kind of have difficulty settling. They have difficulty dealing with change. They are just kind of difficult children. And I think that's something to think about. All of us have our own unique, innate temperament. We have difficulty sometimes dealing with other people. We have difficulty with our own frustrations. So children have the same kinds of things. And children who have kind of other problems with ADHD, they have anxiety, they have learning difficulties, they have sensory problems, things like touch, texture, sound, like someone turned up the volume with all their senses. They're overly sensitive, or they are thrill-seeking children. They have other kind of developmental problems. Some children have learning difficulties. They have difficulty hearing, understanding. And of course they have medical problems. They might have hearing problems, visual problems. They might have chronic illnesses. Just think how your child changes when they get sick. They get irritable, they get more difficult when they could be quite an easygoing child. So those are the circumstances that I think you need to think about when a child kind of misbehaves. They've got their own kind of unique issues and problems. And if a child has something like ADHD, they're going to have a lot more difficulty regulating their behavior, regulating their emotions, being able to focus, listen. They might be impulsive. They might want to interrupt. They're busy. They intrude on others. And those are things that are going to project out into other people, peers, family, friends, kids at school, other people, other adults. And of course, that kind of reacts with parents. You as parents, your own unique personality. What happens if a parent is very similar? Just think about anybody who is very similar in character to you. You kind of butt heads a bit. And that's what I see in my practice sometimes when children have very similar personalities to their parents. They might be, children that are assertive. A parent who is somebody who doesn't back down, who has difficulty regulating their own emotions, their own anxieties, who has an easily and rapidly kind of developing kind of anger. Parents can have anxiety, depression, they have chronic illnesses. If someone's sick, has got a chronic problem like diabetes, has got lots of, they kind of work hard, they have long hours, they get back, they're frustrated, they don't get enough sleep. There's so many different factors. So when your child misbehaves, it's not necessarily just your child, it's also how they kind of get feedback from their parents. If a parent is having to constantly say to their child, James, get up, eat, get dressed, come and eat your breakfast, you'll be late. Don't do that, sit down, stop talking, don't talk with food in your mouth. It's how we frame things. So the philosophy in children really with development and behavior is understanding the interplay between these different kind of factors. Another thing as well is with disciplining children. You know, if we're constantly criticizing, your child wants your attention. You know, it's a kind of a positive attachment theory. A child develops wanting your approval. So when your child starts to sit, and you're happy and you show your approval, when they start to crawl and walk, you encourage them and you reward them for those positive things. They want to please you. Just the praise of a parent is something that is highly prized amongst children. They want that. And when they don't get that, then they will try anything. They will try negative behavior. And you know, when a child constantly kind of tries their luck, they kind of are persistent. Just think about on their checkout route in the supermarket. When they want something, they go out and they moan, they groan, they want a candy. And eventually you just are so exhausted, you give in and give that to them. Think about in a similar way to a gambler who goes to a casino. And all they've got to do is win once every 6 months. That's enough to keep them going back. They can lose all those other times. If your child understands that their behavior can get them to win once, it's going to encourage them. Some children, if the environment, whether it's at school, is negative, it can suppress, it can internalize a lot of those feelings. So there are many layers. There's the unique individual temperament of a child. There is the temperament of parents, the interplay between parents. Remember, if a child can get away with something at home, they're going to try it on the teacher. If they can get away with it at school, they're going to try it on a parent. So this is a philosophy and a framework I'd like you to understand when you intervene and help your child. That is something that I do for a living. It's understanding what are the problems. If your child has a condition like ADHD, it's going to be impossible for you to introduce proper kind of sensible behavior interventions. And I've got a behavior program that I introduce to parents. So these are things that you understand and you have problems with. Please don't hesitate to contact me, because this is something that I can really make a difference to your life, your child's life, and create a happy, kind of content child that is able to unlock their potential.